yesterday because I streamed opening.
They said do it the other way. Yeah, Candid Synagogue. Smile. Oh, how's everybody doing? Shevet's important this holiday. שבט דוד גנך, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה, 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 הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה, יאללה, הנה מה טוב, מה נעים, שבט אחים גנך, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. We're going to light the candles at this point. Do we have a volunteer to light the candles? Oh, Rabbi Sam is going to be the volunteer today to light our candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק של יום טוב. We say Shehechianu the first time we light the candles for the Chag. So let's do that together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Again, everybody. Baruch our service begins. We go Hebrew direction, right to left. You've opened it upside down, as I did, and go the other way. So, Hebrew on the right, transliteration on the left, translation below. What matters most is what's in your heart. So let's do this together. Page 130 begins with the Baruch Hu. So let's try that. If you're able to rise, please do so. Baruch Hu, We are seated and we continue on page 132 with the spoken Mariv Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher hitbaru Mariv Aravim. ומחרית ופזמנים ומשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו בורא יום ולילה בורא אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור
ומעביר יום ומאיר לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים
תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד.
ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים.
Page 134. With love in our hearts, Ahava. בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. 138. הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי צווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לממלך ושופך וגמך
ושרתם לאהוב על ידיך ולהיש ותפות בעיניך
וכתבת על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אדוני אלוהיכם, ורצון קיבלו עליהם, משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ויאמרו כולם. If you came at the beginning, you heard a special melody for Sukkot, the rabbi's favorite melody, because he knows he's done with all of his high holiday sermons. Beginning with the Chatimah, the end signature of the prayer. We usually sing Hashkivenu. I'm going to give you Haporei Sukkot Shalom, which is a special prayer, special version of Hashkivenu. Come on, don't be shy. So it's a special version of the prayer that that features Sukkot Shalom. So and it's written by a bar mitzvah of Stephen Wise, cantor Jeff Klepper. Baruch atah Adonai haporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'alkol Yisrael. Let's try that again for me. Everybody. Baruch atah Adonai haporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'alkol Yisrael. 144. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Come on, come on. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei Sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. We are turning the page ahead past Shabbat, because it is not Shabbat.
Right.
That's right. And we are continuing with the Amidah, which you can find on page 204. We have a long skip in the book. A whole other service happens. We don't have to do everything in the book, as much as we want to. We rise now for the Amidah. We just ask God to open our lips. It's a pretty simple request. אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וסופר חסדי העבור והימות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחייב כל עטרה להושיע, מוריד הטהר, מתגלגל חיים בחסד, מחייב הכל ברחמים רבים, צומק נופים ונופקו, גדולתי רצורים, ומקיים אמונתו בישעיו, אהבי עמוק עד גיבורו, וליבו נהרג, מלך ממיט ומחייב, ולהצליח ישועו, למען הכל יחגוג הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחכה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלו חסרה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Normally we have a silent Amidah. I'm going to add some special nusach for Kedushat Hayom. We're on pages 214 to 218. You can remain standing or pray as you see fit. And we have more silent prayer from page 220 to 224, and then we skip to 228. It's kind of a choose your own adventure book. So choose your own adventure. Make your prayers your own. I'm on 214. אתה בחרתנו מכל העמים, אהבת אותנו ורצית בנו, ורוממתנו מכל הלשונות, וקידשתנו במצוותיך, וקרבתנו מלכנו לעבודתך, ושמך הגדול והקדוש עלינו קראת. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה, מועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון, את יום חג הסוכות הזה, זמן שמחתנו מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, יעלה ויעמוד, וזיזכר זיכרוננו וזיכרון כל עמך בית ישראל לפניך, לטובה ולחסד ולחסד ולרחמים ולחיים ושלום ביום חג הסוכות הזה. זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה, ופודנו בו לברכה, והושיענו בו לחיים. ועשיינו אדוני אלוהינו את ברכת מועדיך לחיים ולשלום, לשמחה ולששון, כאשר רצית ואמרת לבורכנו. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, צווינו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך. טהר בנו, וטהר בנו, וטהר בנו ליום וחרבת, וטהר בנו, וטהר בנו, וטהר בנו ליום וחרבת. Hey, קודשך, וישמחו בך ישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה ה' מקדש ישראל והזמנים. בצער אדוני אלוהינו באהבה. ברוך אתה ה' המחזיר שכינתו לציון. ברוכים אנחנו לך. ועל כולם נתראה. ברוך אתה ה' הכל שמך ולכנאל לך טוב. Page 228. We open the Amidah by asking God to open our lips, and we close it by asking God to guard our lips.
Sukkot, ending the week with Simchat Torah, is actually my favorite holiday. What's not to love? For a week, we are supposed to spend a little extra time appreciating the world that God created, and we end with a party dedicated to the love of reading and studying Torah, a rabbi's dream party. Unfortunately, these holidays fall very soon after their much more famous cousins, and so they often get overshadowed. But here we all are celebrating the beginning of Sukkot, also called Zman Simchatenu, the time of our rejoicing, of our joyousness. There are two main rituals that the Torah tells us we should follow for this holiday. First, we live, or at least spend time in our Sukkot, in our booths that we build, to remind us of the years we spent in the wilderness. And second, we're commanded to shake the lulav. The festival of Sukkot is described as such. You shall take the product of the hadar tree, the etrog, the branches of the palm tree, the lulav, the boughs of the leafy trees, the myrtle or the hadas, and the willows, the arva, and of the brook. And you shall rejoice before the Eternal your God for 7 days. You shall live in booths 7 days. All citizens in Israel shall live in booths in order that future generations may know that I made the Israelite people live in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. Okay, we combine 3 species of plants with a citron, an etrog, and we do something with it, and we live in booths. That's all the Torah tells us. But as often as the case, the Talmudic rabbis fill in all the blanks. First, living in booths, symbolic of the 40 years that we spent in the desert. Each year, just after celebrating the new year and committing ourselves to being a better person in the coming year, we humble ourselves by living in temporary housing for 7 nights. Coming from LA, we had a backyard. We would build a sukkah each year. We would decorate it with lights, boards, a variety of art projects from preschool on through elementary school when they stopped bringing those things home. We'd have friends over, we'd have meals, and often my girls would petition either my husband or I to spend at least 1 night out in the sukkah. Mind you, LA, 80 degrees. We usually let them. The stated goal of the booth, of the sukkah, is to remind us that we lived in huts in the desert. If that's the goal, I'm not so sure that our click together for us non-candy Jews, covered in kids' art, really meets that goal. So why do we continue to build Sukkot still? Just as Yom Kippur reminds us that our relationships are fragile and in need of constant repair by the form of tshuva, of repentance, of seeking and granting forgiveness, so too does Sukkot remind us that our physical world is fragile. Living in a big city as we do, sometimes it's hard to understand what it means to live an agrarian lifestyle. But we know that too much rain, too much heat, or not enough of either of those is not only detrimental, but can be deadly. Between the droughts, the hurricanes, the fires, and the other natural disasters, even those of us in urban settings are beginning to realize how fragile our earth is. But even before we were experiencing severe weather events, almost or with regularity, Sukkot would come around each year to remind us that our lives are intrinsically connected to the earth. The second ritual seems even more obscure. Take 4 species of plants, put them together, and dance around. But again, where the Torah is remiss with details, our scholars and our rabbis have filled in the gaps. There are several metaphors that they've come up with for the lulav. My favorite one is a Kabbalistic one that talks about how each part of the lulav represents a different kind of person. The etrog, with its fruit, much like a lemon, it has both taste and fragrance. If you smell it later, tonight or tomorrow, it smells very much lemony. It represents a person that has both wisdom and good deeds, studies Torah, and performs acts of mitzvot. The myrtle, right here, has a good fragrance, but is inedible. It reminds us of the person who does the good deeds, but lacks the wisdom. The lulav from the palm tree is edible, the dates of the palm, but has no fragrance, representing those who have wisdom and study, but don't follow through with acts of good deeds. And the arva, the willow, has neither a taste nor a smell. and represents those who neither study nor perform acts of tzedakah. On Sukkot, we are commanded to gather all four together and to shake them, and the lulav is not kosher if even one of those is missing. But why do we need to include each of the pieces, even if one seems to be useless? The Kabbalah explains that it takes all kinds of people to fill our world. There may be people we don't care for or even don't like, and yet we not only interact with them, but sometimes we find ourselves even learning from them. We cannot simply say that those people for whom we deem to be of no use are not part of our world or don't belong. On the contrary, humanity, like our lulav, is one indivisible unit. It reminds us that each of us has a purpose and an important part in this world. A similar principle is taught by the composition of the incense that the priests would offer to God in the Holy Temple. There are traditionally 11 ingredients, one of which, the chelbana spice, smelled horrible on its own. Yet, the incense was only valid and only sweet smelling when all of them were burned together. Again, reminding us that we have to look at humanity and the earth as a whole. And we are only made holy when we include everybody, even those we deem undesirable. So the holiday of Sukkot reminds us that we are interconnected with the world, but also each other. Sukkot, called Zman Simchatenu, the time of our rejoicing, because when we truly realize and accept that we are all part of one human family, and that our lives are interconnected to each other and the physical world we live in, it will truly be a time to rejoice. Chag Sameach.
We continue with the Aleinu on page 322, and we rise.
Aleinu nishabeach lako, astet kidvorat yotzei breshit, shelo asadu kodei haratzot, ובו שמנו במשפחות האדמה, שבו שם חלקנו בהם, וכל עלינו בכל העונה, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מורים, לפני ערב מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. השמיים ויוצא לארץ, ונפל מקרוב השמיים ממעל, ושכינה כזו לגלה מאמרים, ובגלנו אינו, ארץ פלטנו לכסולתו, דקתו בתורתו, ודעת היום, ותשאירו
to share their names out loud or in your hearts or on the chat, please do so now. We rise as one community and turn to page 334 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah. Ve'alma yivrach v'rtei ve'amlik malchutei. V'chayechon v'yonechon v'chayei nefro beit Yisrael. V'agala v'bizman karev yivru amen. V'chei shmei rabah v'rach v'olam v'omer almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yifa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei kudashah v'richu. La'ela mikol yerchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al Yisrael v'imru amen. V'seh shalom v'momav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. There's a beautiful sukkah. We'll all have a chance to shake the lulav and etrog. We have lots of clergy here to help you to shake it and say the prayer if you would like our help. And we'll close our service with.
I guess it's page 400.
Turn
the page to page 400. And don't forget, we have services tomorrow morning. There's a morning service as well with a Torah reading and a lesson. More shaking, more festivities, and more food, and
more joy.
And more joy. So please come and join us. It goes out of tune after a while. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die. A time to plant, a time to reap. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. Everybody. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. Come on again, louder. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. Time of love. A time of love, a time of hate. A time of war, a time of peace. A time you may embrace. A time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rent, a time to sow, a time of love, a time of hate, a a time for peace, I swear it's not too late. Again, to everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. Again, to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn. Make it so Peter Yarrow can hear you. And a time for every purpose under heaven. He lives right behind the shul, I think. He may have heard it.
The Kiddush tonight is on page 122. It's a special Kiddush for an evening festival.
Okay, we are on page what?
122.
122, thank you, Rabbi. Because that's always the convenient place to put it. It makes perfect sense putting on page 122. Yes, they make it the most, because that is where I expected it to be. The Kiddush for festival evening. Okay. Vayera vayvoker yom hashishi, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagofen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה, מודים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון. את יום חג הסוכות הזה, זמן שמחתנו, מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת ממצרים. כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. ומועדי קודשך בשמחה ובששון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש ישראל והזמנים. We'll drink to that. Same as Friday. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. ושמחת וחגגת וחיית, השמח ושמחת וחגגת וחיית, השמח ושמחת וחגגת. ושמחת וחגגת והיית שמח. ושמחת וחגגת והיית שמח. ושמחת וחגגת והיית שמח. ושמחת וחגגת והיית Come tomorrow morning, and don't forget next Sunday as well, it's Simchas Torah. We'll be dancing in the streets. We'll be dancing. Dancing in the streets. Dancing in the streets. Okay. Yes, we will be.
Whoever wants to shake the lulav, grab
There'll be lulav shaking, etrog faking, dancing in the streets. Dancing in student minds. Dancing in New York City, up on the Upper West Side. Come next Sunday, 6